Pull up a chair, crack open a beer. It's time for the crime news with Shefsky.
And Al.
Al Bahmani is my guest. Al Banh Mi Sandwich. He's not even Vietnamese, but we give him the Banh Mi Sandwich nickname because Al is tasty, and he's got a little jalapeno between his bread rolls. So, and vinegared pickles in his rolls and barbecue pork, and he's delicious. Am I turning you on or grossing you out?
You're just making me hungry.
Yeah, well, that's a combo of turning him on and grossing him out makes him hungry, folks. He's a regular Jussie Smollett over here. Al Bahmani, thank you for doing this with me, Al.
Thanks, John.
We are busy AF. There's a time crunch, and I was like, no, we are making a crime episode this week, and Al is going to be my guest because I wanted Al to be a guest forever because he's the director of operations for Crime Podcast and Fantasy House. Al's just kicking butt and making things happen. And so we're doing this episode. Shout out to our sponsors, D at a piece that remains. If somebody dies in your life and you want to make a painting for them, send the ashes to D. And she'll get naked and do a bunch of acid. And then she'll probably forget. And then she'll just use some ground up ashes from her fireplace. And then she'll be like, dude, that's totally his ashes. Prove it. Prove me wrong, bro. That's how D talks. Guys, hit up D at a piece that remains, a PEACE that remains.com. Order a painting from her. You don't actually have to have anything fatal or crazy happen and send her ashes. You can actually just have artwork made by her. She does really beautiful jewelry. I got my wife an anniversary necklace from D. Do it. Hit D up. Right. Meow. Also, you're going to need insurance because your co-host is Rich Slayton and he's a little bitch. And you're going to need my co-host as a little bitch insurance. I hope Rich listens to this episode. That'd be funny if he listens to this on his commute and he's like, you know what, Shefsky? Fuck you, buddy. You need your co-host as a bitch insurance from Joe Erle at
C3 Risk and Insurance Services.
Al, that was great. Oh, my gosh. Slayton, did you hear that? Al is just on fire. Hit up Joe Erle. Everyone who gets a policy from Joe Erle gets $25 to Amazon. Not the actual Amazon that we should be protecting, you know, the Lung Store Planet. The company Amazon that gives us a lot of cool products. Hit up Joe Erle. Hit up D at C3 Risk. Let's do some crime news. Guys, Crime News is a true crime comedy podcast where we read news from the interwebs. One of our stories tonight is my boss farted on me and bullied me at work. The other story is Dutch art sleuth recovers Picasso stolen 20 years ago. Which one would you guys like to hear? Speak up now or forever hold your penis. Well, you're hearing both of them today, motherfuckers. Let's start off with the Dutch art sleuth.
From ABC News, a Dutch art detective said Tuesday that he has recovered a valuable painting by Pablo Picasso 20 years after it was stolen from a wealthy Saudi yacht in France.
Ooh, who would steal from those gentle, loving Saudi yacht owners? After I saw that movie Taken, I was like, if you have a yacht, I don't trust you. There's an auction for people on that thing. Mm-hmm. However, whenever I see Leonardo DiCaprio on his yacht, I'm like, that guy's pretty cool.
Yep.
He's like the cool guy with a yacht.
Wolf of Wall Street, yo.
I didn't see that movie because it seemed like it was...
It's like Goodfellas, except the Goodfellas are much nicer people.
Goodfellas is nicer people?
Yeah, they're much more moral than the folks of Wolf of Wall Street.
I love Goodfellas. Wait, did Scorsese do Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's got the feel of a Scorsese movie.
Oh, it's a Scorsese film.
I got to watch it. I'm so behind. All I watch is Tidying Up and a little bit of HGTV. I'm a real estate agent, folks, which, by the way, if anybody is listening and you guys need a real estate agent in Southern California, I'm your guy. Hit me up. Email me at crimepodcast@gmail.com.
Shefsky brings joy.
Shefsky brings. Is that a new hashtag you made, Al?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You're the best. Al brings joy. There's my hashtag. Bam. We're gonna do a compliment battle, and I'm gonna kick your ass.
That's what Shefsky's for.
That's what Shefsky's for. Even if you're not in SoCal and you need a real estate agent, I know people all over the country that are badass. We got a sweet network of agents.
The 1938 painting Bust de Femme, after trailing for years in Amsterdam.
That sounds hot. Bust de Femme?
Bust de Femme.
And that is an old way of saying lettuce boobies.
It's a great one.
Picasso.
In
Amsterdam.
They also found a pair of bronze horses sculpted for Hitler.
What are you going to do with these bronze horses, Hitler?
They're worth $28 million, according to the insurance company. The pair.
They're bronze and they're worth $28 million?
Yeah, $28 million bronze Hitler horses.
Wow.
Nazi horses.
Hitler was like, for a guy that like hated gay people,
yeah,
he was pretty like flamboyant.
Very flammable.
You know what I mean? You ever see his speeches when he's like flipping out? I'm like, most of my gay friends, that's how they look when they're having like a tantrum. And I'm like, this guy hated homosexuals, yet he seemed like he was pretty flamboyant himself. Didn't he seem like Hitler would be like in the old days, like if they had like a So You Think You Can Dance kind of show, like he'd be one of the judges that was like really harsh? Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah. Achtung, baby.
Did they have that show? Did they have Nazi Germany's Got Talent? If you got a thumbs down on that show, let me tell you something. The Paula Abdul on that show was not as nice as our Paula Abdul.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no.
That's Simon spoke in a German accent. I'll take the British accent.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
The Joseph Goebbels dance-off.
Go on with your story, Al.
You know it's Picasso because there's some sort of magic coming off it, he said.
That's an art critic's way of saying, because someone sloppily threw it together and allowed their schizophrenia to direct them into not really putting together their paintings in a composed manner.
Said that since the theft from the yacht moored in the swanky French Riviera port of Antibes, a number of forgeries have been offered to insurers and rejected. But a forger never knows how the back looks.
Whoa, say that again?
The forger never knows how the back of the painting looks without specifying what was there.
So if you forge it, you stole it. You didn't actually get to see what was behind it.
Right, because the back is different.
You're looking at a Google image search or something like that. Which, hint, if you're ever planning on forging a painting, search Google Images and then go for extra large for size-wise, and you'll get a high-resolution one. You can see the brush strokes if you wanted to get really crazy.
Ooh.
It's a forger never knows the backside. It's like the old country song. A forger never knows the backside. Oh, a forger only sees the front. So if you want to have a forger painting, just remember most forgers are cunts. Or people that are just trying to make a living out there. They couldn't get people to buy their original paintings, but they're making millions off of selling you fake Mona Lisas.
They tracked it down. The guy had it in possession for 10 years.
10 years?
Took 3 years to get near it. And it was used as money for payment for drugs and arm deals.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
So like, there's a real dark side to the fake paint or the painting world to stolen paintings.
Oh yeah.
It's like the money's not going towards good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Or is that just what they're telling us to make us feel guilty to let them search these people down and hunt down painting? You ever see the Thomas Crown affair?
Yeah.
Is it like, you know how like the cops are like, look, there's real criminals out there. I'm not going to waste time on your painting shit. Go on with yourself. You know, go on with your thievery, Slayton. You know what I mean? Like. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of like the moral like point of that movie was like, yeah, he steals paintings, but like we got real people that are causing real suffering in this world. Should we really be wasting resources? Are they just, you know, when they try to tell you like if you buy weed, you're supporting terrorism, and you're like, okay,
no, you're supporting
that's
Craig.
like, yeah, that's butterfly effect logic there. So it's like, are they doing the same thing with this? Where they're like, that money went towards guns. Or are they serious? Like, I don't know who to believe, Al. That's my question.
Look, if your painting gets stolen, if your Ketelson gets stolen, insure it with C3 Risk and Insurance.
That is, wow, Al, way to tie it together. Holy shit, Slayton. I was going to say get your shit together, but I'm thinking, Slayton, you just pack your bags. Al's hired, you're fired. This is the episode where I fire Slayton when he says that not to his face. And, like, our fans have to, like, go in. The Pauls send him emails.
Got to fight it out in his octagon.
Nicole Slocum sends him a text. She's like, hey, just so you know, this is, you're fired. Slayton, you're fired. Shefsky fired you. This is a hint to all of our listeners. Text Slayton that he's fired. Send him an Instagram message. Give him some Instagram love.
We want more Crime Classic.
He's playing video games. He's got low testosterone. Just give him some Instagram love.
Eventually, the person who had the painting in their possession decided to turn it in and reach out to Brand. Martin Finkelberg, head of the Dutch police... Martin Finkelberg.
Oh, man. Is he related to a football player from the Miami Dolphins that had a sex change operation? Ray Finkel. Laces out. I'm looking for Ray Finkel and a clean pair of shorts.
The head of Dutch National Police's Art and Antique Criminality team.
Do you think he stops by the red light district after a long day of like doing all his hard work? And he's like, you know, I'm going to get some French fries and mayonnaise. And then I'm going to get some mayonnaise on my French fry.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Have a toke.
That's where my head's at. Just get stoned, visit the red light district, and eat the local food. What are you doing wasting time being part of the Dutch National Police Arts and Antiques Criminality team? There's got to be something better you can do with your time. Honestly, though, catch these paintings, sir. Martin, we're standing behind you. Godspeed.
No arrests have been made. Done. Everybody happy, Finkelberg said. The most important thing is that the artwork is back.
Meanwhile, people are having human slave trades in Libya, but let me tell you something, that painting that we're missing, it's back.
Do you know what paid for the slave trades?
The paintings?
A piece that remains.
Now you're implicating D in the slave trades in Libya. That's just
It's
wrong.
that good of a painting.
Well,
It's better than money.
You need to get criminal insurance for D. Everybody call up Joe Erle at Z3 Risk Insurance Services. And hey, guys, what do you think of that last episode with Slayton? Wasn't that fun with Fantasy House? Holy SHIT.
And next story, my boss farted on me and bullied me at work. This is from the New York Post. An Australian engineer claims that his
Australian engineer. All right, you take 2 + 2 and you equals 4. I'm an engineer in Australia. How many kangaroos does it take to beat up a man in a boxing ring? Just one, because they're very strong. Go on with your story there, Albert.
His boss repeatedly farted nearby and thrusted his bum.
Nearby? That doesn't count.
And thrusted his bum.
He thrust his bum.
And is hoping that his bullying claim is successful on appeal.
David Hinkst
from Melbourne has sought $1.8 million in a suit against his former employer, Construction Engineering, but a judge blasted the case to the Supreme Court last year.
He blasted it? Was that a wordplay?
Pulled his finger.
But the judge cranked out the case. 1.8 million there. I reckon it's a lot of cash there.
Finding that there was no bullying.
It's quite a bit of Vegemite, right?
Quite a bit of Vegemite.
Right, I could own all of the Flight of the Conchords albums ever. Not the 2 seasons. I mean, you could buy all the discs from everyone. Now, they're from
Kiwi.
New Zealand.
That's the difference.
However,
It's Kiwi.
In America, it's the same place. It's like Peru being Mexico, you see.
Oh, yeah, but
it's the same place to us in America.
That's a great way to start a fight in the U.S.
Well, I don't like to get into fights in the U.S., I'll tell you that much, because I don't have my boomerang with me. I left it in Sydney, Australia. All right, Al, I'm not done with my impression. Just joking. Go on.
I would be sitting with my face to the wall, and he would come into the room.
Al, this is a quote.
Yes.
In Australian. Mm-hmm. And you're reading it like Al.
Sorry. I can't.
I would be sitting with my face to the wall, and he would come into the room, which was small and had no windows. He would fart behind me and walk away. He would do this 5 or 6 times a day.
The structural engineer who previously lived and trained in Germany for 20 years said,
20 years of training in Germany, and all I got was this lousy job when my boss farts in my face.
His boss abused him over the phone and at times would taunt him with gestures.
Relentless taunting of gestures. He thrusted his bum at me while he's at work. Mr. Stinky is what he called his colleagues, Mr. Stinky. And here's another quote. And you sprayed deodorant at him. Well, why don't you spray? Of course you're going to spray deodorant at him. Right, Hiffer? Rocco's Modern Fart.
In any case, the justice said that...
I thought that said Judas Priest. I was like, yeah! Freaking love Judas Priest, dude.
Farts were not a key issue in the original claim.
Farting for vengeance. Farting your boss. Farting your boss.
It's the American dream.
Sitting down in my cubicle, it smells like rotten eggs. Look over to my left, my boss is farting on my head. If we could get Rob Halford to sing that. Do you guys like Judas Priest? I love Judas Priest. You guys love him? Do you like Judas Priest, Al?
Judas Priest is all right.
That's not very enthusiastic.
No, it isn't.
We're talking about Rob Halford.
I know Rob Halford's the god.
We're talking about like one of the metal gods. We're talking Rob Halford, Lemmy, James Hetfield. We're talking metal here.
And if you sing like James Hetfield, get 10% off at a piece that remains.
And you sprayed him with your deodorant.
He claimed that Short's behavior was part of a conspiracy to get rid of him.
Oh, part of a conspiracy? Like Sam Tripoli's going to talk about it on Tinfoil Hat?
And cause...
Bro, they're farting. The farts are... They're trying to kill us with their farts, dude. It's the Anunnaki. They're Anunnaki farts.
But Justice Priest said the trial seemed to show remarkable latitude during the 18-day proceeding. And they will deliver their appeal on Friday.
Here's a quote right here. The very distinct impression I get is you are given every opportunity to put your case, he said. The Court of Appeal judges will deliver their ruling on appeals on Friday after a couple toots.
And a pulling of a finger.
Al, let's do something special right now.
All right.
Let's play your episode of Fantasy House for our crime listeners.
It's one of the most realistic episodes.
I know our Patreons have already heard it, but now like the regular non-Patreon listeners will be able to hear it, and I'm going to attach it to this episode. And now we have to go. We have to go. We have to return we had to rent a recording equipment to do an episode, the Jeremiah Watkins episode of Fantasy House. I recorded it today. Crazy rush. My recording equipment wasn't here. Long story short, it's been nuts, but this was recorded at Thailand Studios, my buddy Roy's editing studio. This is where Exorcist was
Flashdance.
Oh, yeah, dude. Black Stallion, Sniper, The Crow.
To Live and Die in L.A.
To Live and Die in L.A. There's a lot of mobsters. There's a lot of...
Some Kind of Wonderful.
Some Kind of Wonderful. So this is a great place. Thank you for letting us record here, Roy.
Thanks,
in Thailand.
Roy.
Thanks for doing this, Al. Guys, stick around. Share this episode. Go subscribe to Fantasy House. Give us a 5-star review. Stick around for Al's episode of Fantasy House. Mwah. Be silly, have fun.
Shefsky here. Welcome to Fantasy House. Do you like Adventure Time? Do you like MTV Cribs? Would you like it if they got together and made love and made a baby? Well, they did, and they named them Fantasy House. They didn't actually name us Fantasy House, but I named us Fantasy House, and that's what inspired this show. And every week, a special guest walks us through their imaginary fantasy house. It is so much friggin' fun. Every week I get to have my mind blown, feeling like I'm in a different person's fantasy house. And they're all such interesting guests. It's unbelievable. You really get to know people. This week, my guest is Al Bahmani. Al is a amazing dude. He is the creative director on my true crime comedy podcast, CRiiiME. And he's just so cool. We made this episode actually as Patreon content for our crime subscribers, and we just had so much fun with it that I was like, dude, I can't stop doing these. I'm gonna turn this into its own podcast, which is what happened. So you're gonna listen to the pilot episode right now. So some of the sound might not be perfect. I apologize ahead of time, but I think it's worth listening to because Al's house is super dope, and it was just, this is the creation of this podcast. You're gonna see the baby in its baby form, crapping all over the place, crying, but that's how it is, baby. It's raw. You know what I mean? This is real. Do you like hidden hallways and passageways? How about firefighter poles that people slide up and down? How about fun slides and zip lines? How about an arcade with every game system ever invented? Well, then you're going to love this episode of Fantasy House, the pilot episode. You're going to love it. As the great Angelo Bowers used to say, let us do this. He would say that all the time when we'd get in the car to go somewhere.
Won't you take it all around over to your fantasy house? You're the hostess with the mostest where you get in your fantasy house. Get all the money for expensive construction. The only limit is your imagination.
Describe to us, to me and the listeners, your dream house in great detail. And this dream house, there are no limitations. Okay, this is, don't hold back. This
Got to
is
have
like,
a front porch.
you got to imagine. And this can be a simple dream house, but I'm also letting you know, don't hold back your rules. There's no building codes. There's no lazy contractors. You don't have to apply for a loan. You can have a holodeck, a jello pool, a healing machine like Elysium. I always fantasized about having a hockey rink inside, like living in a hockey rink when I was a kid. You can go wild with this house. There could be an orgy buffet room, anything you want at this house. So I'll give you a second to think about it, and then describe that house to me and the listeners.
Front porch. There's got to be a front porch because that's just the place to hang out with swings and stuff like that, where you can barbecue and hang out and just
Like a classic southern front porch?
Yeah, with trees. You got to have trees.
Oh, yeah.
Got to have a front porch.
Yep.
2 stories.
Okay.
2 stories, but
Bring us in. Walk us in the front door.
with hidden hallways and passages like in Clue.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Al, you've got your shadow self. I want to hear more.
So you can get inside and then just kind of sneak around and just for fun, just like, oh, here we go. Go through this way. Go through that way.
You like the excitement of like I'm going to get there some way different, a different route. I love that.
Yeah.
I freaking love that.
Yeah, like in Clue. And then I always thought that was like the number one thing I always wanted in a house is just hidden hallways, hidden passageways.
Do you ever take alternate routes to places that you're familiar with just because it's fun?
Yes.
I do that all the time.
First thing I did in LA when I got here was intentionally get lost.
Yeah.
Intentionally get lost. 2 fridges. Fridge for food, a freezer for all the other food, just enough tables, and also extra rooms so I can entertain company. A living room, a room to myself. LA has just lowered my bar to where I just want the fucking basics.
Yeah.
I just want the fucking basics because you realize how good it is elsewhere because when their people aren't standing on top of people.
Yeah.
You know,
mean like in congested city?
in congested
Oh, yeah.
city. You know, Houston's becoming that way.
Well, you can have that, Al. You don't have to wait to be majorly successful. You just have to be willing to commute.
That's the thing.
That's the
Being
thing
willing
that's
to commute.
stressful.
Commute will take a lot out of you.
But you get to listen to crime all the time.
I do listen to crime all the time.
Well, now you get to listen to it while you're driving. It's so nice. I listen to like audiobooks all day, just driving back and forth. I'm like, I'm going to get educated while I'm driving.
Yeah. It's also a movie room. It's got to have a movie room.
Oh, you want a little theater?
I want a little theater room with actual physical media, DVDs,
Oh, I thought
VHSs.
you meant people like doing a play in front of you.
Well, I could-
You're like so wealthy, your home theater has like a whole play. Again, get on there, try it again, you bitches, go.
Well, fuck it. I will have a theater room where I can actually book people for private shows.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Well, I'd probably a little black box theater with a little screen goes down so you can actually show movies and then bring up the screen and actually do plays or do stand-up
Yeah.
shows.
Like the original UCB, but
Yeah.
in your basement?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Never had basements in Texas because Houston was always flooding.
We never had basements in Texas. It's an old country song I just made up.
But I'd have that. I'd have a kitchen. I'd have
We had a kitchen, and what else did we have?
5 rooms,
5 rooms.
more hidden rooms, a basement. Oh,
Isn't the basement a hidden room? Al, your house is getting scary at
a
times.
firefighter pole like in Batman?
Yeah.
You know, where you just go all the way down
Yeah.
through the levels.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So now you're cooking with gas there,
Yeah.
Al. That's what I'm talking about.
Just a pole to go down, and also a super heavy fun slide. So instead of having to go down the stairs, just slide down.
I've always thought that'd be cool too.
Yeah.
Or giant. You know how those hamster tubes you can
Yeah.
build? I was like, they should have like big ones that we can crawl through. I would love that. Like how they have at McDonald's in the playground.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
through your whole house.
Or a zip line too, so you can go.
My brother was just yesterday. My brother, because we need to get we have our house still needs work on it, and we need to get our handrails for the what do you call them? The handrails for the stairway
Yeah.
to go upstairs. And my brother just yesterday was talking about how we need to get a
zip line.
It just goes from the top down.
Yeah.
So
A zip line, just
killer.
go whoosh.
killer.
Yeah,
Oh, I love it.
and trampolines.
Trampolines.
Trampolines, got to have backyard with trampolines.
I love trampolines.
Yeah,
You can sleep on them. They're really comfy to sleep
Oh,
on.
yeah.
They're like hammocks.
trampolines, hammocks instead of hammocks in the bedroom. No pool,
Hammocks. Did you say hammocks in the bedroom?
hammocks in the bedroom.
Like instead of a king size bed, you have 2 hammocks next to each other.
Exactly. Yeah,
Al, this is what I'm talking about. This is getting
hammocks
interesting
in
and
the
trippy.
bedroom,
Hammocks in the bedroom where you're gonna bone. Hammocks in the bedroom. It's an 80s
and a
song.
study.
Yeah.
and a study with books and shit like that.
Like a multiple. We have to go on a ladder to get the
Yeah,
books. Oh yeah, classic.
With then, if you pull the right book, the shelf opens, and then there's
more secret passageways.
yes.
Al, I feel like I need to interview you for 10 hours now that I've found out that your house has a lot of secret passageways. I'm
Gotta
like,
have secret
I gotta-
passageways.
These houses that we build, I'm like, I think they're a lot about us.
Yeah, but there's got to be little hidden passageways, little hidden features here and there, just for fun, you know.
Yeah.
And then also just solar panels, because I don't
Folks,
want to
he's
be
a
on the
freak,
grill.
but he's off the grid.
Got to be off the grid.
You said the grill.
Yeah, got to be off the grill.
He's living
too.
off the grill. That's going vegetarian. Living off the grid now.
And enough room for animals to have animals too.
Yeah.
I'd like to be able to have enough room to actually have animals as opposed to a small animal in a small place.
Okay.
You know,
Like dogs and cats,
like
or
dogs and cats.
Okay.
You know, like a couple dogs, couple cats.
I feel like a secret passageway guy would have like a weird kind of monkey or something like that too. So I didn't know.
I don't know about monkeys, man. Monkeys live a long time, yo.
You want something that's going to die?
Well, I don't want something that's
if my
good.
cats could live 100 years, I'd be so happy.
Well, those are awesome cats.
They are. They're amazing cats.
I'd like to have like a tabby or a Maine Coon, you
Yeah.
know, and have a couple of cats and then just have a couple of dogs. And generally, the dogs I have live long lives anyway, so like 20 years.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
So you don't need a monkey with a.
I don't need a monkey.
Okay.
I don't need a monkey. They'll bite me.
If you guys take anything from this episode, Al doesn't need a monkey, so
No.
don't send him one.
Because then they'll hump your ear like they did Richard Pryor.
What do they do?
They humped his ear. The monkeys, like he had these little small monkeys that were humping his ear. And then apparently Paul Mooney killed them when he was taking care of them.
I'm trying to think.
This was in his book, Prior Convictions and Other Life Sentences.
Paul Mooney killed the monkeys?
That's what Richard said.
I don't know Paul Mooney personally. He does look like the kind of guy that would have a straight face and strangle a monkey and say like a couple last things like, "That's it. Now we'll take care of the monkey problem."
Those monkeys were insane, according to Pryor.
They're not meant to be
pets.
Like, when rich people own tigers, you're like, you're not doing any good for anyone.
Maybe a capybara.
I guess.
They're like giant guinea pigs.
Yeah, they are. I've seen them at the zoo.
Yeah. They look pretty chill.
I guess guinea pig, those giant teeth. I'm like, don't let them gnaw on you. But anytime I hear about monkeys ripping people's faces off, the chimpanzees ripping faces off, and all the weird stuff they do, I'm like, they're not meant to be captive.
No,
they need to be in the wild.
captive.
We need to protect their environment and let them be out there.
Yeah,
You want a capybara though at your house, at your dream house?
capybara seem nice, but then again, if they're assholes, never mind.
What's your kitchen like?
Huge.
Yeah, describe it to me. Like, let's walk in. Pretend like I'm there with you. We're walking. We're writing a book. We walk into your kitchen. By what door?
There's an entire spice door, not a spice rack, but a spice door of spices from everything.
If you want to flavor my food, you've got to use a spice door.
Oh yeah, everything from mojo Creole sauce to sumac to saffron.
Saffron.
Yeah,
you got to.
saffron, basmati rice.
Yeah.
There's a walk-in freezer with a whole bunch of dead animals in it.
You mean meats to cook, right?
Meats to cook like
Okay.
deer.
I didn't know. Maybe you strangled a few of those monkeys when you realized you weren't a good monkey owner,
Well, Indiana Jones, yo.
right?
So
the brains.
the brains, best part. There'd be a freezer. There'd be a regular fridge. There'd be a juice machine.
I love a juice machine.
There'd be about a grill about the size of this table.
This is a 4 by. No, this is like a 3.5 by 5.
Yeah.
It's like a 3.5 by 5 table.
Just a grill.
Just one of those big Viking grills.
big Viking grills. So then they start cooking. No microwave.
No, you don't need one. I don't have one.
An oven that can do pizza.
Oh yeah.
Like those old stone.
Yeah.
There'd be a stone oven for
Oh, yeah.
pizza. Make some pizza.
Yeah.
There'd be vegetables growing on the side, so I can actually pick out real vegetables, and not just the front yard, but also inside, like spices, like rosemary, mint, basil. There also would be a pomegranate tree in the backyard too.
I have a pomegranate tree in my backyard. You like pomegranates?
Yeah, I have a pomegranate tree right now in my backyard, and it is the shit. It's pomegranate season right
Actually, I was just gonna say it's time to harvest some of them.
Yeah.
A few of them have worked out. They're not all ready yet, but yeah.
Yeah, so there'd be a pomegranate tree because
Dude,
yeah,
that makes me so happy.
Yeah.
I literally just saw a red pomegranate today that my brother had picked, and I was like, "Oh, we're getting there."
blood corn.
Oh, they're so good. That's what you call them. Is that the Texas
Because it
term?
looks like, well, that's what I call it. Because it looks like,
so tasty.
yeah, it's just you look like you murder someone after eating a pomegranate. That's the only problem.
This is my first year living. Like we just got the house.
Yeah.
And it's my first year watching the pomegranate season happen. And I have to remember there's like a Martha Stewart video that tells you how to like de-seed them easily or whatever.
Yeah.
So I gotta do that.
Try them with salt.
Adding salt to the fruits. My sister-in-law, she puts what's the tahini sauce on like watermelon, and I was like, that's
Oh, yeah.
gross. And then I was like, that is delicious.
Try salt on a watermelon
salt.
too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So good. So you want fresh vegetables?
I want fresh vegetables, fresh fruit, because right now, ever since I moved here, I started getting the fresh food, fresh vegetables.
What kind of countertops are you talking about here?
Granite.
You like granite?
Granite
Oh,
countertop.
granite's beautiful.
Granite, or if not, go full 70s, go full 70s polyester green.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What about what's the sink like?
You could bathe in that sink. That's how
You
big
want a
it is.
giant sink.
I want a giant sink.
Okay.
A sink big enough to bathe in.
Is this like a modern kitchen, like uber modern, eclectic, rustic, old school? Like,
I'd say a mix between eclectic and old school.
okay.
Or eclectic and old school. There's some modern things, but then there's some old school things.
It's not too sleek or too Starship
No.
Enterprisey.
No. And no dishwasher.
No dishwasher.
Got to do dishes by hand.
That's great.
Got to do the dishes by hand.
What's your theme color for this whole thing?
Black and white marble.
All right. Oh, man, that is going to be sleek and sexy, extreme.
Yep.
Okay, now let's go to the other most important room in the house, the bathroom. The main bathroom. Let's just do like your master suite bathroom. Describe it to us. Let's take a virtual dump with Al. I mean a virtual bath.
Well, the toilet is warmed. It has warmed seat covers.
Ooh.
And there's a squatty potty if you want to use it or not, because this is a thing people do in California. I personally can't use a squatty potty because it just makes a mess of things.
They're just squatting on there?
Yeah,
I like them.
But the squat, because look, it's not always like if you eat too much pomegranate, it's squatty potty just doesn't work.
It's just supposed to be healthier for you.
I've been shitting for years, and it hasn't.
Still shitting after all these years. Whoa, still shitting.
After all,
What's the theme color in your restroom? In your master bathroom suite?
It's just a place to chill.
What's the color? Theme colors? Like, give me some.
I'd say probably. It'd be a nicer version of the store restroom if the store had a restroom for just headliners.
You mean the Comedy Store restroom?
Yeah, if it had a restroom for just Rogan.
So you like the dark colors of the store bathrooms?
Yes.
Okay. So like a black toilet, black bathtub, black sink.
Well, yeah, because it's easier to clean.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't show that much dirt around there.
Sometimes black actually can show more dirt for like porcelain and stuff like that. So I think white's probably the easiest one.
And also a lot of metal in the, there'd be a lot of metal as far as the sink goes, as far as the faucets go, a lot of metal, and also as far as the shower goes too.
Like metal, like when you see like brushed nickel, like the modern looking stuff?
Yes.
Okay. So you'd have like an eclectic, classic looking kitchen, but like upstairs your bathroom would be a little bit more sleek?
Yes. A nice shower head with multiple settings.
Oh, I love that.
For the ladies.
What kind of bathtub is it?
It could be like it could be it's a tub with multiple spouts. So then you can actually, like, if you actually just had a rough day, you can actually just fill up the tub, and then all of a sudden the different water jet shoots from all over around you.
Oh, yeah.
So then you can stick in a bath bomb and just melt away.
Oh, that sounds great.
Oh, yeah.
That's so essential. To me, those are the two most important rooms in a house: is your kitchen and your bathroom.
Kitchen, bathroom, most important.
You spend so much time in both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Kitchen is so soothing and healing. There's so many great things in the kitchen. Bathroom, soothing, healing, and it's so important.
And then the mystery game room.
And you with your mysteries.
Yes.
Mystery game room. What's that? Can you tell us more?
Every video game system from Atari to now, including Neo Geo.
Oh yeah, I remember Neo Geo.
PlayStation, SNES, every video game system.
VR headsets, so I could come over and swim with sharks and fly with eagles and have sex.
Play every system imaginable, every old
so
game.
cool.
Because I'm a big fan of the old school games.
Oh, it's so cool.
But it'd be set up like an arcade game. So then you could just kind of then you can just select what system you want to play, but it'd be through an arcade interface.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
People are going to want to hang out at this fantasy house. This is amazing.
Oh, it's an amazing fucking house.
Any other thing else about the backyard? What's the backyard like?
Backyard, it's pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
Backyard be big. There'd be fruit growing. There'd be trees.
Mm-hmm.
There'd even be a little basketball court to play some basketball.
Oh yeah.
There's got to be a basketball court. There's got to be just gardens. There's got to be gardens. There's also got to be roses. There's got to be and then just the place for the animals to go around. That's what just a nice simple backyard, and just trampoline, a tree house, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Describe this tree house.
Tree house would probably be, the interior would be about as big as this room.
And this room, how big is this room? Will we say how many square feet is this?
It's like 500.
Is this 500 square feet?
I think it's 500. I could be wrong.
I'm going to say it's 400 square feet.
About 400,
guess.
500 square feet. It could be like a but the guest house would be a tree house in the backyard.
Okay.
Whoa,
like a tree house for adults, you mean?
Yeah.
That's the guest house?
Yes.
I love that. So if I came and stayed with you, you'd be
You
like,
could stay in the tree
guest house is ready for you?
Yeah, and the tree house is wired for electric and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And there's also a pole you can slide down the tree house.
You and your fireman poles.
Ghostbusters really appealed to me as a kid.
I love it. I love going down those poles. I also like climbing up them too.
And from the second story, a zip line. So then you can go to the treehouse with the zip line in the back.
You've got like the most fun, like mystery, but hospitable house with healthy organic fruits that you grew yourself.
Yes, I kind of want that, but I also, part of me is still kind of like Batman. I kind of like the idea of hidden stuff. I like the idea of, like, the case I use for my iPad looks like a book.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So
that's what you actually have?
Yeah, that's what I actually.
I love that stuff.
Yeah.
I love the mixture of I love taking some of the old stuff that's good from the old days and still keeping it.
Yeah.
Like I really enjoy. Yeah, like what you're saying, like the iPad cover that's.
Oh yeah, that's why I want a library, and library is also where the liquor is kept, and all the smokables are kept in the library. So then
you said liquor and smokables, huh?
Yeah. So there'd be that too.
So your guests are going to be able to get high. They're going to get inebriated through alcohol,
and they'll be able to barbecue because there's a barbecue grill in the backyard too.
Can we go to your fantasy house right now, Al? This
sure,
is amazing.
Let's go. World of
I feel like you took us there, dude. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I can't even just tell you. Just you describing it right now is so much fun for me.
Yeah.
I've always liked like the Stephen Beastie books, the cross sections where they cut things open. When I was a kid, I used to draw like fighter planes and like these big like military airplanes that had all these rooms, and I would draw them like, spliced in half and be like, here's the cockpit. I love like the scale of like a guy here sitting in here in the seat and the captain and then underneath it the cots and the sleeping in the bathrooms and like this room's for this. And just having you describe it right now gives me so much joy to have you take me there and tell me that I could clearly say, like, I can't wait to do another one like of this kind of episode now. Like, this is...
Zip line to the treehouse. Come on.
Al, I'm so excited. I feel like we've like stumbled upon something so exciting. It makes me happy because I'm like sitting here and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like at the hunger of like hearing about this house.
But then, if I ever do have children, I gotta be an adult and unhide the hidden rooms.
Yeah, or maybe the kids will enjoy the hidden rooms as they're like, that's how they play in them, and that's how they get away with the stuff the kids need to be able to get away with, when they're going through those phases. Like,
and they find the secret garden.
Yeah. I'm scared that they might find some other secret rooms you haven't told me about in this house, but you gotta have the room of secrets. You gotta embrace your introvert. Yeah. If you're listening to this, just think about what's your favorite fantasy house? It's just really fun. Did you have fun like thinking of it?
I did have fun thinking about that. I thought of it on my way over here. I was like, what would I want? I was like, I want secret passageways.
You can have a lot of the stuff you mentioned, though.
Yeah.
Like, some of the stuff is like, man, you're going to have to be a billionaire to have that. But you can have, like, zip lines. You can build treehouse stuff. You can have a kitchen that you love. You can have a bathroom that, like, the stuff that is in our reality that you just mentioned, your
solar
gaming system.
panels.
Like, I feel like how fun, like, guys, listen to what Al just described about his stuff. He's describing stuff about himself. Like, when we think of our fantasy dwellings, like, we're talking about like ourselves. And I want
a nice kitchen so I can entertain people. So I can entertain people and have some great, like a giant pot where I can cook crawfish.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Even if let's say you don't have a freaking penny to your name right now and you're listening to this, you're like, I want all this crazy stuff. Go through, build your fantasy house, write all these things down, and find out ways that you can have some of the things in here. Something that you can't buy, something you can make for yourself here. Something that maybe it isn't even a physical thing. Maybe it's a new way that you organize a room in your house, or maybe you just live in a small room and you just need to reorganize it and throw away the stuff that isn't part of your fantasy house. But I don't know. It's beautiful.
I kind of feel like I described the Comedy Store at one point.
You kind of did, but you described like Al having his own Comedy Store, and that's what's beautiful about this. It's about your dwelling and your. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that with me.
No problem. It's all good. Thanks, John.
Dude, you're the best. Guys, thank you for listening. We had such a good time. We enjoyed our time with you, and I hope you guys had a good time with this.
Thanks, John.
Al, that was so awesome describing that house.